KIYAMA movement, so you get a good sense of what we're about. And then I'm going to open it up for some questions, answers and some questions, questions and some answers. And then we're going to have the ceremony. Once our first mother arrives, we'll begin our ceremony. I have my able assistant, my son Malcolm Fidel, who will be working the site for us. The movement was officially founded on May 19th of 2005. Put a lot of work into thinking about how to honor Malcolm on his on the 80th anniversary of his birth. I need not tell most of you what Malcolm has meant to the liberation struggle, the struggle for human rights. He is clearly, in my mind, one of the greatest revolutionary leaders that America has seen, and certainly, arguably, the world has seen. And so I wanted to do something that would basically speak to what Malcolm was about. And so I was saying to myself, you know, let's find a word that basically speaks to what we need in our community, in our national community and the global community. And so I was looking for a word like resurrection. I want to connect it to the motherland. So I used the English Swahili dictionary online, plugged in resurrection, and came up with KIYAMA. And that's how KIYAMA came about. And then when there was another word, another meaning associated with it, and I certainly wasn't looking for it, and it was Judgment Day. And you know, in fact, I ran up on a brother from Morocco, and he said, you know what Swahili, what KIYAMA means, and he said Judgment Day. But it means resurrection, and it also means Judgment Day. And so that's how we came up with the name of KIYAMA. Now go to the home page. Okay, so we're right here. The symbol itself, you see the red spot, the red drawing. Now click on home again. Just pay attention to the red, which is the area that we want to fill in, right? So that area will disappear. So the right arm of the symbol represents the black woman who is complete, who has sustained us, who has held up her end of the barbie. So her arm is complete. That's on the left. On the right is the black man who is incomplete. And we have not held up our end of the barbie. And so what we want to do is fill in those missing pieces. The outer rim represents black people throughout the diaspora, throughout the world. And there's a disconnect between black people in the East, black people in the West, not simply in this country, but throughout the world, North and South. And so it has a Pan-Africanist, basically nature to the whole symbol of KIYAMA, national and Pan-Africanist. We want to make that connection because, as many of you know, there are folks who come from other parts of the world who are black and don't want to associate with black people. They want to be anything but black. They want to be Italian, Bulgarian, anything but black. And we have to challenge that. And until they remain here in America for some time, they don't realize that they're in the same boat as we are. You understand? So that's why we have to speak to that whole issue of connecting. Now, let me take you to the KIYAMA principles. I'll take you to the KIYAMA principles. So the KIYAMA principles, we're going to go, I'm not going to read each and every one, but they're basically self-explanatory, right? So when you go to the site and say respect for life is the first principle of KIYAMA. Now, click on the link that says fratricide in respect for life. And you go to some of the principles, you'll find statistics that we pulled up. that basically outlines what we are doing to ourselves. One of the things I say, when you go online and I won't say a frequent user of Facebook, but I visit Facebook from time to time when my time allows. And I see people constantly putting up what others are doing to us, but we don't put up what we are doing to each other. And that's what we have to learn to focus on. We have to change the way we think in terms of what we are doing to ourselves versus what others are doing to us. Mal, go back, please. Now, go back home, please. Go all the way to the bottom. Stay right there. I missed the part. Now, click on Fatel. Forget about them, think about us, is our model. Go down, Mal. Thank you. Well, when we're thinking about, when we're setting up KIYAMA, we said we have to come up with a model that speaks to what I just stated. Because we get so consumed by racism and what other people are doing to us, we don't think about us. So we came up with forget about them, think about us. And it reads, resist becoming and or remaining consumed by the primordial practice of racism perpetuated by many in the dominant culture. It is also well advised to dismiss those who are indifferent and or who serve as apologists and or sympathizers for such behavior and the resulting oppression. So it applies to all those who perpetuate racism or those who want to serve as apologists for people who perpetuate racism or those who just don't care. And number two, accept the challenge of self-improvement, which we believe serves as the foundation for our salvation as a people in America and throughout the diaspora. So in a nutshell, KIYAMA speaks to us getting better. Now go back to the KIYAMA principle. Go down. Sexual responsibility. The number one health threat to the African American community and the continent of AIDS is AIDS. And in this country, we have to deal, as we do all over the world, unwanted pregnancies. So we're putting the onus on the black man to deal with that, simply by being responsible in our sexual activity. Basically wearing a condom. When AIDS first struck the country, the gay community got right on it and through education was able to basically virtually eliminate it in their community. We have to deal with our own sexual responsibility. That's on the black man. Go down. Now, commitment to fatherhood speaks for itself. Gary Highsmith spoke eloquently. You'll hear from Gary later on today about the commitment to fatherhood. Go down now. Respect for womanhood. That speaks for itself. And go down now. And last, economic accountability. How we spend our cheddar, how we spend our money, and where we spend our money. And the importance of understanding how we can resurrect ourselves in terms of how we spend our money. Mom, go to economic potential right in that. See what we have up here. So we have from the Joint Center, they give you all kinds of data on black economics, or economics pertaining to the black community. Now go back, and go back again, go to the 5 steps, just go up. Just go up. Go to the 5 steps. Thank you. Go down. All right, so the KIYAMA doctrine is made up of 2 areas. It's made up of, number 1, the KIYAMA principles, and number 2, the 5 steps. And the 5 steps are clear. Accept the fact that there's a common thread that runs through each and every person of African descent in this society. This thread links us, whether we like it or not, based on our shared experience as a result of our physical blackness. If you're black, it matters. And no matter how you escape it, it's going to impact you. No matter how you talk, no matter how you walk, no matter what you want to be or think you are, if you're black in America, it matters. Plain and simple. Now that doesn't mean folks want to embrace our blackness, but that's what it means. Go ahead, down, Mount. Accept the fact that racism is a permanent reality in our society. Click on racism is a permanent reality, Mount. This is an article by Professor John Britton. This is back in '93, and he took it from an outstanding book by Derek Bell, Faces at the Bottom of the Well. I'm sure some of you in here read that book, where he talks about, and Derek Bell is a noted law professor, worked at Harvard, left Harvard in a dispute over the fact that they did not have any black tenured professors on their staff, law professors. I think Derek Bell was at NYU right now, but he wrote Faces at the Bottom of the Well and talked about the permanency of racism. Go back now. And how we have to basically accept that it is what it is. Go down, Mount. Step 3, accept the fact that the above-mentioned socialization process has endowed those of African descent in America and throughout the diaspora with a false sense of inferiority. To this day, we still think about good hair and bad hair. To this day, light eyes and nice eyes, quote unquote, which I don't know what the opposite's supposed to mean, but we talk about that, nice hair. And you can go into any high school and ask folks about nice hair, and they'll tell you about what's nice hair, which of course, it says something about hair that doesn't meet that criteria, which is usually our hair. And so it's about self-hatred and overcoming this self-hatred, because we are a people who really hate ourselves. You can't get around that. We believe in others more than we believe in ourselves. We believe that Mr. Charlie's ice is colder. I deal with it just about every day in the court system. People actually believe that. You know, they believe in whites more than they believe in us. All right, and we have to deal with that. We have to deal with how we look at each other and how we feel about our own features. Go down, Mount. Step 4, seek self-improvement by undergoing genuine self-reflection. The question we must ask ourselves, am I the best I can be? That's really the issue right there. Am I the best I can be? And challenging yourself, finding the strength to challenge yourself to be better. Step 5, Mount. Become part of a national effort to change our collective behavior as a people. That's what the war on ignorance is about. This effort should specifically target our commitment to education, our response to violence in the community, our general health as a community, our approach to economics, namely our imprudent, unwise spending habits, and our approach to electoral politics. Because there is clearly a lack of sophistication, a collective lack of sophistication in our community as it pertains to electoral politics. And if you go to each one of those links, they'll basically take you there. You know, because African Americans are fond at one point of Bill Clinton, just to give you an example. Yet more prisons were built in this country under Bill Clinton than any other president in the history of the United States. But you're fond of Bill Clinton, the black president, all this nonsense. Came to Harlem, people tripping and falling over each other just to get to him. And he could care less about black people. You heard what his wife said when she was running. She tried to drum up the support in Indiana and elsewhere, you know, by talking about hard-working Americans, white Americans. Hillary put that out there in midair. The point I want to make is we have to become more sophisticated about who we're running after, who we're supporting. The Enough is Enough campaign that we're waging in this city addresses step 5. Because that's about us getting it together here. Now go all the way up. Go to a KIYAMA man. Go down. Stop right there. This is what a KIYAMA man is. A man of African descent, one who's committed to the KIYAMA principles, committed to eradicating self-hatred, a righteous individual, a good citizen, an independent and critical thinker, committed to the education of our youth, unselfish, in constant search of knowledge of self, committed to uplifting his community, one who has no allegiance to any political party. That's the KIYAMA, that's our definition of a KIYAMA man. Go up now, right there. Go to the KIYAMA nation. This is where you guys come into play. Go down, stop right there. Go to the individual. This is where it begins, right? Stop right there, go right there now. The basic unit of the KIYAMA nation is the individual. The role of the individual is to embrace both the KIYAMA principles and the 5 steps and employ both as practical guides to self and collective improvement. Right? So we start off with the individual, and we want to deal with his circle. So the whole idea is for you to challenge the people in your circle. So if you got a circle, you're just saying to your boy, yo, look here, let's get this thing right. What you need to help get this thing right. You understand what I'm saying, Jerry? That's what this is about. The KIYAMA individual to the KIYAMA circle. Go back now. Next to the KIYAMA family. Now, we don't even have to go there, but that's all right. That's okay. Go down a little. And basically the circle, once you have interlocking circle, so, you know, if a person may not be in my immediate circle, but Tom Daniels and I are just cool. So if I'm hooked with Tom, then I'm hooked with his circle. You understand? And that's how it goes, on and on and on. And if we're all part of the KIYAMA tradition, or the following the KIYAMA principle, then we make up that whole KIYAMA nation, or the KIYAMA community, which is the next one. Go back now. And that, stay right there, Mal. And that goes from the KIYAMA community to the KIYAMA nation. Okay, so that's how it starts with the individual, then it goes into your circle, then you deal with the KIYAMA family, right? Then the KIYAMA community and the KIYAMA nation. And we're all connected based on the fact that we have embraced the KIYAMA principles and the 5 steps, right? Go ahead down now. I'm going to show you a little bit about the KIYAMA website. Go to KIYAMA links now. Go down. So we just put on a number of African newspapers, Al Jazeera, Anti-Racist Alliance, anything that we feel that, you know, could enhance that knowledge base. Because, you know, knowledge is power. You know, go down some more amount, keep going down, and so on and so forth, right? And we'll keep adding to that list. Go back now. Go to the KIYAMA store. And this is where you go here and you buy the books. We got to, you know, work something out with Amazon, put up all the books up here. And you can find any book basically that we feel helps to enhance that knowledge base. The knowledge. That's what it's key. There are 5 pillars of hip hop, right? They said DJing, breakdancing, MCing, graffiti, and the forgotten pillar of hip hop is knowledge. When Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation started all this thing back in the day, that's what it was about. Knowledge. Who had that knowledge? Right? So here you can go from click on Martin Malcolm in America. It'll take you right there, give you a description of it. One of the most powerful books I've ever read in my life about the two of them. Very honest, very powerful, and very, very thought-provoking and revealing. Go back now and go to a world, the one right underneath it, the world lit only by fire. This was written by William Manchester, who taught at Wesleyan. They were really upset with this man who wrote this book because it talked about life in the Dark Ages. Around the year 1000, it talked about European society. And they were, for lack of a better way of saying it, pissed off for him putting out and writing this book. This is one of the deepest books I've ever read about European society and European culture. I just don't have the time to go into it. Go back now. And there's loads of other books up here. Slavery by Another Name by Blackman. Powerful book about how slavery continued in this country under a different name. There you go. More than just sharecropping, you know, the way, you know, but it definitely was, that was one aspect of it. No question about it. Chomsky's book, the book that, now go to Open Veins of Latin America. Right there. That's Galeno's book. When Hugo Chavez first met Barack on stage, that's the book he handed him. The Open Veins of Latin America, how Latin America has been destroyed by the multinational corporations of the U.S. And he handed him the book while shaking his hand and caught him totally off guard and said, you need to read this book. That's the Open Veins of Latin America. It was written back in the early 70s. Mike, go back. Go back. Go down to the KIYAMA curriculum, which was, we're very proud of this. Go all the way down now. Keep going. Slow down, son. Right. Go down a little slower. We put this outline together. Every single sentence has a link. Anything and everything you want to know, you can find it right here regarding history. Yeah. We're very proud of this. Keep going, keep going. And I got to share this with you. We're very careful about putting up information that just could not be verified. For example, we talk about the Statue of Liberty being a gift to black people. And I've heard that for many, many years. That was the one item I researched. It took me 2-3 hours to find credible information to support it. I couldn't find it. I didn't put it up there. And that was that. If it could not be supported by sources, I did not put it up there. So go back up. And this is from a black perspective. Yeah, use that, Mount. Go up, go up, Mount, all the way up. Come down slow. Start with, I just want to point out a couple of places here. Start with Nubia. Go to Nubia, right here. So we talk about Nubia, and you get the history. And from there, you go wherever you want to go. Go back now. Go down a little, Mount. Stop right. Yeah, go to the African presence in Rome. So we took it from different websites with credible sources. Severus, most of you know, the African emperor. And when you watch, go back now, when you watch some of these shows, because America is so entrenched in its racism, they can't even envision a society where race didn't even matter. You understand? When you watch the movie Gladiator, at the time of the rule of Commodus, who came after, who was the son of Marcus Aurelius, a third of the Roman Senate was black. A third. You would never know that by watching their movies and depictions of Rome at that time. Right? Now, click on the 3 African popes. Go up. No, just stay right there. Go down a couple. See where it says right there. And you have them. Pope Victor ruled at the same time Severus ruled Rome. And Severus ruled for 18 years. Victor was the first black pope, was running Rome, while was serving as pope, while Severus was serving as the emperor. Gelasius and Miltiades, and they're all saints. Go back now. Go down to, just want to show you a couple more, and then we move on. Go down. Stop right there. Go to Moors. Go to the Moors. Right there. Go down. Go down. One. Go up. Right there. Moors. Right. So that's how the Moors ruled Spain for 700 years. You'll never know about this sort of stuff. Never. But that's the history. Go back now. Go back and go to suggested reading right next to Moors. And boom, there you go. The Moors of Spain. Beautiful book. I read that many years ago. It's still in print. Exceptional book. Go back now. And go down, just go down to, I want to find, go to Beethoven. Famous blacks of the 18th century. Go to Beethoven. Right there. Click on, known as the Black Spaniard. Go down. right? So and most people don't even, go ahead, keep going. Beethoven, the Black Spaniard. Most people don't even know. I was years ago, I was doing my master's, and I had raised this, and a German woman was in the class, and damn near went berserk because I mentioned the fact that Beethoven was a black man. But he was a black man. And then I brought in the book, you know, with the sources. You understand? Yeah, that hurts right there. Go back. If things were left the same, 1,000 years from now, Michael Jackson would be a white man. But that was, we don't need no help from them. Now, go up a couple to Queen Sophia of England, number 3, right there. And Queen Sophia of England, she was the Queen of England during the time of the Revolutionary War. You know, that's Queen Sophia. You know, so, and this is a lot of the history that we don't know. Knowledge is power. Go back now. And let me just find one last one. Go down. By the way, stop right there. By the way, folks, when you get to American, that lays out the entire history right here of the United States, the Constitution, the federal government, so on and so forth. You can find just about anything here. We tried to put it all in. You know, it took forever, by the way. Keep going down. Go down now. Keep going. Keep going. You got Turner, Prosser, Vesey. Talk about the insurrectionists. Go down. Right there, stop right there. The 8th, don't click on. I just want to share something with y'all. The 1850s, one of the worst periods in the annals of African history. You go visit you go look at the 1850s. I got to tell you, it was tough. It was tough. That's when the Fugitive Slave Act. They could pick you up the street, bring you back into slavery. You never even felt the sting of a lash. You've been living in Massachusetts forever, and somebody come from the South and say, he's my slave. They put you on a boat and you're back in slavery. That was the 1850s. Okay? Dred Scott came out, the decision. Black man has no rights that whites are bound. White man is bound to respect, so on and so forth. And you learn about people like Maria Stewart, who one of those forgotten heroes of the movement, powerful sister. So now take us all the way back. Go back to the major links. Okay, go up. Okay, so that gives you a sense. And the last item I want to cover is the war on ignorance, and we kicked that off the other day. I want to thank everyone, and quite a few of you who were there are here today, and I want to thank you again for coming out and supporting that effort. Go all the way down now. That explains it. Click here. Go down. Stop right there. And here's our list, and you have links. Now, I couldn't find Talking Loud in public in order to be seen, but if I could have found it, I would have put it up there, you know, because there are certain behaviors in our community that we just have to do away with. And trust me, it can be embarrassing. It doesn't roll off the tongue that easily, right? When you start thinking about it, you start thinking about you. But listen, it doesn't speak to one's intellect. It simply speaks to behavior that we have to change as a community. I'm fond of saying, what does littering have to do with racism? If we're messing up our community, keeping our community dirty, that has nothing to do with racism. You can't blame anybody but yourself. If you're sitting out there just littering, throwing things around, and then have the nerve to go in someone else's community and say, oh no, this is clean. I'm not going to litter. That's ignorance. But we put that at the top. Now, click on littering. Click on littering. And we put facts. We gave you the facts. Gave you the information. Right? So go back now. I'm just hitting you with links to ridiculing our blackness and our African features. We talked about that. Your lips are so big. You know, I mean, we have said and heard things that have been so hurtful to our people. You know, this color struckness that we have in our community. About this light skin and dark skin thing. I only like these kind of people. I only like, this is ignorant, folks. And we address this forthrightly. Go down somehow. One of my favorite ones. Yeah, keep going. Right there. Having an attitude when providing a service that you get paid to do. My Lord. I was asking for a cup of coffee. They're mad at me for. Right? Now you paying for it. They're getting paid to serve. All right. Damaging private or public property because you feel like it. That's just straight ignorant. Control your children and yourself. Right? Making a scene when attempting to resolve a conflict. Well, just resolve the conflict. You pull someone, resolve the conflict. We don't have to make a scene. Not knowing when to say thank you or excuse me. You let somebody cross the street right in front of you, you doing them the favor, you got the green, they're walking, they start sloughing across the street. Tell my kids all the time, someone let you go across the street like that or something. Know when to say thank you. Put your hands up. Show some gratitude. So you're in the car and you let somebody take the left or the right and show some gratitude. This is the ignorance that we have to deal with in our community. Allowing your underwear to be seen in public. And we're not just talking about the kids. I can, you know, you can understand it from the kids, but you have 25 and 30-year-old men dressing and acting a fool. That's ignorant. And this is sort of stuff we got to deal with. You want to be a man, Barack not running around with it, and I'm no fan of Barack, but you know, you look at the people who are running the world. Just look at them. They're not pants down to their knees. You can't run the world like that. You can't even be on the stage with people running the world like that. But this is the sort of stuff we have to be vigilant about. Not taking advantage of a free education. The education is free. My God, at one time they used us as alligator bait. They used our children as alligator bait. Back in slavery. Come right down the slave row. Give me that one. Took the baby out, tied him up. This is in the swamps of Louisiana, Alabama, Florida. Some of the unwritten history they don't tell you about slavery. Tied the baby up, threw him in the water because the baby would splash. Alligator come, they grab the alligator, bring it back in the boat, half-eaten baby, still screaming, still alive. They throw it back in and catch the next alligator. Mother wailing back in slave row. Here, take the child back now. Just like that. This is true. Had no control over what they did to us. And if you got caught writing the letter A, trying to write the letter A, that was it. But they had to send a message. They knew what it meant to keep you ignorant, keep us ignorant, keep you from learning how to read or write. You understand? And now we got free education and folks acting a fool in class. All right. Not acting your age, but your foot size. But I'm not going to go through them all. We got posters. Just look at the behaviors. And I got to tell you, we could have had a whole, we could have had another list. But we just pared it down. Go back. Now, stay right there. Stay right there. Go up a little. Go up. Go up. Okay. So, folks, that's basically and the KIYAMA brochures online if you want to pull that off, and some contact information.